legends, how is everybody doing? Make sure to absolutely destroy that like button on your way in. We are back. We'll be analyzing the situation here for the price of Bitcoin that's been very, very boring and rangy, guys. How is everyone doing? Let me know if you can see me, if you can hear me. We are here, legends. Let's go right away with the analysis. First of all, say hello to the beautiful community. How's everybody doing, guys? Hope you're doing well. I've been doing a live stream or videos for the last few days in the south of Spain. Went to a stag party. I've seen some friends that I haven't seen for ages. So I took a little bit of time off for a few days. And it was the best timing because we've been ranging here for almost a week right now. Very boring price action as we do get to this resistance valley area high of this entire range. What are the scenarios for Bitcoin? Well, most of the scenarios do point out that all-time high looks imminent. Of course, that could be in the next coming days. It could be in the next couple of weeks. According to the local bearish case scenarios, that would still be ultimately bullish, okay? We've been sticking with the bullishness ever since we created this movement to the downside, okay? We've been bullish. We've been talking about the range to continue, several scenarios that could play out with complex sideways corrective structures according to Elliott Wave theory. Okay, ultimately, all-time high is highly likely. This is why I hold some swing long positions on a couple of the exchanges. Interested in shorts, in a short position, and I'll be talking about a little bit of a few scenarios that could play out, guys. Let me say hello to the beautiful community as we do get those likes getting absolutely destroyed, guys, because I am here for you right now, and I'm just asking for one thing, to just gently tap that like button if you do enjoy the content. I'm going to say hello to the beautiful community already that are commenting here. Andy the Legend, how are you? Staffer One, hola profesor. We are very close to hitting 100k subscribers. Yes, it's probably going to be hit in the next coming weeks, I would say. Let's see if we do get some new subscribers here on the channel, if they do enjoy their pure technical analysis on Bitcoin, the analysis and the possible trading setups that we are looking for, guys. Very boring range, low volume at the value area high. This is resistance. I've got some very interesting news to talk about, guys. It is all very bullish, mass adoption news, guys, which is crazy. I got this interesting character that I want to talk about. Of course, you might know who he is already, right? James Wynn, who's been very, very bearish just a few days ago, and he's very bullish right now, okay? And he's in longs right now at the resistance. We are in long positions from down here already. I have several long positions from down here. Just understanding the bullishness that there is in this chart, right? I was so in favor of, there's highly likely not going to be a successful breakdown below $100,000, and I'm interested in going extremely long in this area. There is a bearish local scenario that actually takes out potentially the $98,000 low. I would still be extremely bullish. This was mentioned also, just over a week ago, guys, where I'm longing down here, guys. I do see a bounce to 106k, maybe a range formation. We're looking for all-time high in the coming weeks. So long in here at the lows is definitely a bit, the best option, right? You do not want to long up here. It might play out because the probabilities, regardless of range continuing or breaking out here or continuing the range or taking out the lows, all of the scenarios point out that all-time high looks imminent, okay? And that is because of this is, the reading of this price action is a corrective structure. Let me know if you can hear me, guys, or if the volume is low, all right? Because I got my mic that's probably not too great. Let me know if the volume is okay. I'm just going to do a quick confirmation. Let me know if you can hear me, guys. At least, might be not the best quality, but you should hear me relatively good. But yeah, regardless, guys, all a range. Interested in longing below 100k, as explained a couple of weeks ago, ever since we were talking about this area, that a successful breakdown is highly unlikely. This was the moment, guys, that a lot of people were talking about 90k, 92k, right? We're going to drop down. We're going to sweep up the lows of this range. We were confident with the analysis that getting a breakdown here was highly unlikely, okay? And got into a few long positions on several exchanges in a short position right now that is in a loss. But this would still be okay, all right? Still be okay. That's still maintaining some of the long positions to hedge against this short, okay? I've taken profits on the long, but overall, I do see a pullback, potentially of a few $1,000s. And worst case scenario is getting below 98k in the next 1 to 2 weeks. There is one scenario that I want to point out here, but this would only bring us the best longing opportunity below 98k. And I will explain in detail, just like I explained over a week ago. We're still interested in longs here, guys. The range to continue, we want a long below 100k. All right, because it is the highest probability that we do not break down successfully. Okay, so these opportunities come and they go, right? People that did not long down here, they are longing up here potentially, right? Just like this character right over here, James Wynn, who is massively long right now. He's extremely bullish. This guy is the guy that lost 100 million, right, in less than a month. which is crazy. You know, he was very, very bearish a few days ago. He's extremely long right now. He's longing at 107k, so he's literally longing at resistance, value area high, and a lot of the scenarios point out that a corrective move, right, is extremely likely. So yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. I'm not sure if the guy's really following for advice or actually just for a laugh, because I don't know. Apparently he was very, very bearish a few days ago, and now he's full on long. All shorts are closed, and I have to say it might play out for him. It might play out for him because ultimately, you know, there's high probability in taking out all-time high. So let's go and say hello to the wonderful community and see what's going on. Let's get those likes rolling, okay, guys? Let's see those likes if they are rolling here nicely. Okay, I want to check out here how many likes I do have already. Okay, the sound is not incredibly awesome, but it will do it. It will do, right? The live stream. So let's say hello to everyone here in the comment section. Hit the like, legends. 𝗖𝗍𝗄𝗿, much love to you, brother. Eric, much love. Andy, will there be no alt season? ¿Qué está pasando? Muy importante. Dixon, yeah, alt season, where we got the altcoin season index. You can see this, guys. It's all about cycles. The question is, there will be an altcoin season. I have no doubt about it. But will it be a 3-4x on average returns? And a lot of people are expecting 40x, 50x, 100x. I'm going to say forget about that, guys. You know, those were different times. A lot of quantitative easing right in 2020 after the C19 crash. It was a different macro event, as we did have a lot of money printing. There will be an altcoin season, guys. This is all about cycles. You go up, Bitcoin season, altcoin season, Bitcoin season, altcoin season, right? And we now at Bitcoin season. We've been, you know, trading here for a few weeks already. So ultimately, in the next coming weeks, at some point, maybe after the summer, it might extend. Well, eventually there will be that altcoin season, right? We will get back up, but it might be very small, guys. It might be a 3-4x average returns on some altcoins. And that's when you hold, we're going to go. And you don't take profits, right? Because I'm happy right now with a few X returns, guys. I'm not looking for 100X or even a 50X, right? I do a 5X, right? Because I'm putting some significant capital on some altcoins, and I'm happy with a 5X. If I get a 5X on a few altcoins like Chainlink, ICP, I'll be like, I'm out, guys. You know, I'm happy. You know, they're big returns. But of course, I understand people that put $100. If it gets to 500, they'll be like, you know, it's not worth it, right? Taking the profits. Anyway, regardless, yeah, there will be an altcoin season at some point. It's inevitable. It's just taking longer. It might be in a few months. It might be after the summer. It might be at the end of the year. You obviously want to be prepared and buy at cheap levels, guys. Don't buy the pumps because they will dump on you. All right, so you want to buy the blood, everything when it's boring. It's just how it works. So Andy to the moon, let's go. Yes, all-time high looks imminent for the next coming weeks, guys. Andy, would you make a good corn star? He is so he's so beautiful. Where is Andy? It's so bright behind him. Yeah, I'm in Spain, guys. I am in Spain. It is bright. I got the window here behind me, so I've set up here my studio. All right, and took a few days out because I had a stag party. Good friends that I haven't seen for a long time, guys. I'm living in Dubai and I'm away from family and friends, which is you know, it is nice, but you know, obviously if I come here to Spain, I want to see a lot of people, right? And just took some time off the charts and content, but it was the best moment. Yeah, we've been very boring, no volume, no volatility, so it's just been perfect. So we're gonna get a few things ready. Interesting levels. Low volume is low. Let me turn here the volume up a little, ever so slightly here, if you can hear me a little bit better, guys. Sorry, I need to speak into the mic. Volume is bad, Andy. Let me just double check here the volume again. Yeah, volume seems low but okay. Let me know if you can hear me a little bit better right now, guys, with the volume on the mic. Everything is fine, Andy. Just trolling. Much love. Volume is good. Much love to you, Jerome. Low volume. Volume is low. Bad. Hi, Andy. Midag. Ethereum seems very slow. Yes, it is. It is very, very slow. Tell us about 𝗬. 𝗬. Yeah, we can do some altcoins later on. 100k subs today? I don't think so. I don't think we're going to get 1,000 subs today, but ultimately in the next coming weeks, we should be hitting 100k, which would be very cool. 100k subs and all-time high incoming. 100%, says Suzanne. Much love to you, Suzanne. Thank you very much for the support. All good, says Mastanas. Very cool. 𝗬. Celestia. Yeah, we can take a look at that, some altcoins later on, but we're going to focus on Bitcoin. I focus on Bitcoin trading. This is where I make my gains. Bitcoin trading mainly. I like 95% of the times I trade Bitcoin. This is why I get into Bitcoin trades mainly. Very boring style of trading at the moment. Okay, more swing positions. They do take a few days to develop. But this was the opportunity, guys, to get in, okay? This was the long opportunity. This range looks interesting for shorts, guys. It does look interesting for shorts. We're going to be talking about a few scenarios. We are at resistance, value area high. This range does look bullish, okay? So let's just get ready with a few scenarios that I'm looking for here, guys. You might think this is just a bull flag, and it's going to break out at some point, an all-time high. Maybe, you know, you could just say that, but we are at resistance, and I'm going to go a little bit in detail on complex Elliott Wave theory, sideways momentum corrective move that is giving us a few scenarios, okay? We have a few scenarios on how the waves could develop in the next coming days, and if some levels are hit, I'm going to explain what do we need to see to be confident in taking those trading positions. All right, and it's gonna be you to take action, right? Unless you are in the Discord or unless you are in the Telegram channel, okay? Because there is where I just tell you where I'm longing, where I'm shorting, where I'm taking profits, if I'm adding 1% to the position. And there is a summer discount, guys. Make sure to hook me up on the Telegram, send me a message, join the Telegram down below, which is the first link, because we do have a summer discount, very special summer discount that will only be going for today and tomorrow. To join the Discord or join the Telegram signals channel, which I provide my Bitcoin trades, guys. Take advantage of that. The discount is only going to go for 2 more days, right? Once we get to the beginning of July, no more discount. That is to get into the Discord, where you have the daily updates from myself and the rest of the coaches, and you also get the modules explaining the basics, even Tradingview tutorial, more to advanced, how to use Fibonacci, read pointer controls, how to get them ready, advanced Elliott Wave theory, harmonics. You have everything that you need to know here on the Discord, okay? And there is a massive discount going on for 2 more days. How to get this discount? Join the Telegram, reach me out right away, okay? You will get that information in the Telegram, guys, okay? And also to join the signals channel, which I just say where I get into my long positions and where I get into, you know, what I am looking for, right? So anyway, make sure to hook me up, guys. You got the first link down below to join the Telegram. Let's go right away with the different scenarios here on Bitcoin, how the price could develop. Ultimately, this looks bullish, all right? And we are looking for all-time high to happen in the near future, be it 1 week, be it 3 weeks. It doesn't matter. The range could continue and we could take out the lows. How can we do so? What are the scenarios? Regardless of what happens, okay, because there is a few scenarios, there is some very interesting trading levels, okay? And you are going to get that information today here. Whoever paid attention throughout the last few weeks, understanding that we are in a corrective move and we look for different scenarios, you are probably already in a long position from this zone, especially if you have been in the Telegram signals channel, right? If you have been in the Telegram signals channel, I was very vocal about this, guys. I'm longing. This is the interesting level to long. And we had a nice rally of $6,000-$7,000, right? Which is very, very good. We've been talking about this throughout YouTube in the last few weeks trying to find out which is the corrective structure that we are finding, which are the levels to get into some trading setups. And this was the ultimate one, right? As soon as we took out the low, we had a few options here. A larger bounce to take out 106.5k was the highest probability option based on a flat here that could be forming. And we did get that rally very, very nicely to hit 106.5k just after a few days, right? So it's all about probabilities. It's all understanding how the chart moves. So let's talk about, guys, let me know in the comment section, what scenario do you like? Do you prefer more? Shall we talk about the extreme bullish case scenario already? Or shall we talk about the bearish one, right? Let me know. I'm going to talk about all of them here. And all of the scenarios point very good trading opportunities. And I'm going to explain how it needs to develop, guys. Okay? Pay attention, because you know, if you've been a legit follower for the last, few months or even few weeks, you know that I like to come up to the live stream and say, remember that we talked about this. Well, this is what is happening. And this was the zone to get into a trade, right? So make sure I need your full attention, guys, because I love doing it, guys. It's what I love doing best, right? You know, remember what we're talking about here? There we go, right? So just to prove, all right, the track record and that what we talk about is, actually means something, right? We do understand and we do get to find out the highest probability movements, guys, and the best levels to trade. We can prove that, right, with the previous video updates. Let's go right away. The most probable scenarios. Yeah, okay, most probable scenarios. The most probable one, okay, I want bullish one. They're all bullish. Regardless if there's a local bearish one, they are all bullish to take out all-time high, okay? But let's talk about the most probable scenario. We are at resistance. Yeah, very true. We are at resistance, which is the value area high. And we've already had a pretty nice leg up. We're getting choppiness. We're just stopping out a few over leveraged short positions the last few days. Take out the high. This is why this zone is good for double tops, or take out this high in a swing failure pattern from this high. This zone is awesome, guys, to get into a short, right? It's pretty obvious. So what is the highest probability scenario? Very interesting. I am still leaning with this scenario, guys. Same scenario, which is the flat. We took out above 106.5k, and I do believe that a corrective move has the highest probability from this zone, right? This zone right over here. Choppiness, low volume, a corrective move to the downside, or an impulse, right? It would be mainly an impulse because it's looking at an ABC flat. Still leaning on this scenario. I think this has the highest probability scenario. Okay? This one right over here. Now the question is, right? The question is, how low can we go? How low can we go? Because we do have the point of control of the range at 105.5k zone. That could find some support, all right? Would we bounce from here and this is bullish? Well, that's the other scenario that I want to explain, okay? It is possible, but this is the most interesting one. If we do lose the point of control, I do think that we will go to the low 100k levels at a bare minimum, value area low, get the choppiness here, and potentially even take out this low. So for me, highest probability is that the range does continue and we do not take out all-time high today, tomorrow, after tomorrow, right? And we're probably going to be ranging for a few more days, and we do have the potential of taking out 98k. Okay? It all points out that this is the most symmetrical scenario that we have according to all of the waves. Complex sideways WXY, okay? Now, this is a scenario that we did mention for, over a week ago, where we would get the bounce up, we get resistance at 106, 107k, take out the highs, maybe hit 108k, 109k. There is that option, right? It's not just hit the level and get a dump. We've been ranging, chopping here at value area high. So ultimately, still leaning with this scenario. Everything looks quite okay. Is this movement to the upside? Okay. We could be forming a running flat as well. It is possible, right? This is an A wave. a B wave potential and a C wave. And the question of the C wave is, will we take out the lows of the B wave, right? The start of the B wave, which is the most common scenario in an ABC flat. You usually take out the start of A wave and the start of the B wave. It's what happens most of the times. However, a running flat, which is getting a higher low and your C wave finishes slightly higher, potentially 102K, 103K, is also a possibility. Ultimately, the leg down is what I'm looking for, taking profits and protecting positions if you are in a short position. Okay, leaving some open just in case we do take out 98K. All right, and that would be a moment where people are going to start flipping very, very bearish, right? However, I will be ready, just like I was a few weeks ago, to actually get into a long position here, understanding that a breakdown here, successful breakdown, is highly unlikely, guys. I will be ready for the same scenario. I am not seeing a successful breakdown below $98,000. Could we hit $96,000, $94,000? Absolutely, but I'm not looking for a breakdown below 90K. Okay, so this is the moment that you need to be ready to take those decisions with good risk management. Okay, despite being bullish, you cannot go all in, guys. I did not go all in. I was confident with this long position, but I did not go all in, right? I'm making some decent profits from this long position right throughout the exchanges, but I didn't go all in. I didn't go with all of my account, right? Or half of the account. We do not trade like that. I can, there's those moments that I'm wrong. So if I'm wrong, I want to take a small hit, because there will be another trade very, very soon to develop. So this is one scenario, guys. I think this is the highest probability that a corrective move here at the 108, 109K zone, not managing to break out to claim all-time high. I think this is low probability for the moment. We are hitting resistance. The waves that we have developed in the last week do look more like a potential double zigzag. When we do zoom in, there is the potential of an impulsive move, and the impulsive move would be relatively simple. It is a wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave shallow 4, wave 5, and right now we could be forming an ABC flat. Okay, there's either this scenario, we come down to 105K zone, and this is good support. Is it a good long? I will explain why this is not a good long position to jump in as the price drops into the level. Okay, it's realizing where to not take action, because many people that are relatively new to trading and doing technical analysis, this is awesome support, I'm going to long right away. Okay, we do have the anchored VWAP from the lows of the range, also where the point of control of this range is 105K. We got a potential order block, if you wish, right there on slightly higher time frames, a naked point of control also. This is support. As we come down there, I am going to long 105K. I'm longing. Yeah, we could bounce and get a nice pump up here. It's possible, but I'm not interested in longing here at the support. It's such a big support. Why wouldn't you long? Well, it's because I understand the local bearish case scenario. It's the one that I explained just a few minutes ago, guys, which is this one right over here, the flat. I understand and I see it as the highest probability of the range, just because of the symmetry of the rate of the waves, right? That this could actually break down. It could actually break down from the point of control. We could go to lower levels. All right. So I do not want to long this point of control and the anchored VWAP, understanding that there is this scenario that looks better. Okay, so the people that could long here very aggressively, they're going to be underwater, or they're going to start getting stopped out. I will remain patient, guys. I will not long the first touch at 105K zone, even though we got a order block, a naked point of control, the point of control of the entire range, the anchored VWAP. There is that bullish case scenario, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ABC flat. and then get the bounce. However, if we are looking at this scenario, that means that this has to be a finished structure. Now, what is the matter with this finished structure? A lot of people would say ABC flat, right? Or a WXY, which is what I have right now on the chart. This movement down, right, in a zigzag to finish your Y, is been very, very quick in time. It's just been too fast, okay? The symmetry, okay, I want it nice and symmetrical. The timing from W, the timing from X. I want nice timing for your Y, right? Similar timing. And this has been ever so fast, guys. Too fast compared to your wave W. So you don't give it the highest probability. If this were to be the low, many would say this is an ABC, right? Just keeping it simple. There's more to that, guys, as you can see. We do have a potential 5-wave structure that we formed, last week. We do have the potential of an ABC flat, which looks pretty nice, right? However, if this is going to be the low, and this is going to be an ABC flat structure, and you're going to be labeling this as your potential wave 2, if you're very bullish, right? And then we get your wave 3, 4, and 5 in the next coming weeks. What is the problem with this wave 2 in an ABC flat? Well, looking at the probabilities of the different waves, a wave 2 usually retraces to the 50% and the 7/8 Fibonacci, okay? In between those fib levels, taking the Fibonacci retracement from the low to the high, which would be this wave 5 because you're forming an ABC flat, possibly, right? So the 382 is down at 104.3. It would be a shallow movement for a wave 2. Most commonly, you do retrace in between 50% and 7/8 Fibonacci for a wave 2. So I'm not giving this scenario the highest probability. If we do come down here, I understand it could bounce, and this could be a wave 2, right? Wave 2s can retrace to the 236. It's just uncommon. So what if I miss this movement, right? How can I understand that, if I'm not interested in longing the low, the support, because I have the bearish case scenario locally, which, has higher probability in my opinion, right, based on the analysis and the range. When do I long then, right? I miss long in here and I want to get into a long. What happens if we bounce here and we do hit all-time high? Well, we need that sign of strength. Because we have some bearish case scenarios locally that have the highest probability, I am not taking the risk of taking the long position coming to the point of control and the anchored VWAP and the naked point of control from this consolidation. I am not taking that risk. I'm going to wait for a range and I'm going to wait for a bounce and a sign of strength. How is that sign of strength going to be possible to understand, right? What do I need to see is your question, guys. I'm assuming that would be your question, right? Because there is a scenario that it comes down to 105k zone and it actually gets the bounce. But I'm not going to long here in this area on the drop because of the bearish case. So I need a bounce. The bounce needs to be developed with a 5-wave move to the upside on the lower time frames, give or take 15-minute, 5-minute time frame. I need to see some kind of a 5-wave structure to the upside to confirm that this could be the low. Then the next retracement will be the one that I'm interested, and that is the 50% to the 7/8 Fibonacci, taking out the low of the bounce to the high, only if we have developed 5-wave structures. Okay, 5 waves to the upside. Then I'm looking for the corrective move down, and 50% to the 7/8 Fibonacci from the low to the high will be the moment of interest for me to get into the long, because then a wave 3, 4, and 5 could develop right in the next coming days after this structure. So I need that sign of strength. And it's not all about being, why don't you take the long? This is strong support. There is a bearish case scenario locally that actually gets below 105 and 104k that I am leaning more that it's highly likely. So I'm not taking this long, guys. It's all about taking the correct decisions. And this is not a good decision. I know it could bounce, you know, congratulations if it does bounce and you catch the low, but it's not a good zone that I would want to try and catch the low, understanding the bearish case that I just explained, which is literally forming that ABC flat in your Y wave, right? Which would be this one right over here. And this, yeah, without a doubt, it could be a running flat, okay? It doesn't need to take out the lows, but ultimately it would be a pretty sharp movement down, at least to the value area low, okay? With the potential of taking out 98K. Very, very possible. Okay, so long in here, not going to happen for me, guys, at least on the first touch. Once I see that sign of strength with a 5-wave impulsive move on the lower time frame, give or take 5 to 15 minute time frame, then I would be interested in a higher low here, possibly, right? This is how I would want to get into this long position. Okay, so this is one scenario that could happen, not considering this scenario, considering this scenario, okay? Which is a finished corrective move and we formed an impulse to the upside. This is the low. The low is in. I need to see this price action. Movement down, bounce, higher low. The higher low is where I'm interested to get in. Okay, only if we formed a 5-wave impulsive move. Okay, so that's one scenario, that's one trading setup, and the trading setup is not the first bounce at support. It would be a confirmation of sign of strength with a 5-wave structure, and I'm interested in the next higher low. Okay, so that is one setup. Okay, if we do get that 5-wave impulsive move to the upside, this is a bit of a swing trade, guys. It will take days to develop, but it's one scenario that could happen, right? I have a few scenarios, and one of the scenarios is going to happen. So this is the good thing. As a technical analyst and a trader, I have 4 or 5 scenarios that could happen. Inside of these 4 or 5 scenarios, there will be a moment that I will get a trading opportunity. So you just need to wait for one of those scenarios to develop the price action, right? And that's, you know, literally by getting into a long position here, higher low, sign of strength. We do have the impulsive move, 5-wave, ABC flat. First leg up and leg down would be just a 1-2, right? And then 3, 4, 5, we finally break out to all-time high. This would be the setup, right? This would be the setup. Stop loss beneath the next higher low because we're looking at this as a 1 and 2. Will this happen? I do not know, but I understand that it could happen, and I know exactly where to get in and where to get out and where to put my stop loss and what I'm risking 1 to 3%. So that's one scenario that could happen. You know, I don't get these. I do not know what's going to happen, guys. Exactly with, you know, 100% accuracy. I know a few scenarios and I know how to get into the trade. You know, this is why, you know, I get to these P&Ls, right? I do get the dips, I do get stopped out, but ultimately we, you know, looking to get a nice increase of P&L because I know where to find the trading setup, right? And I do share the possible setups, and also not only on the Discord, but also on the Telegram. Remember, there's a summer discount only for today and tomorrow. Reach me out on the Telegram if you want to join the Discord with a massive discount. You got the daily updates, possible setups from me and the coaches, and the modules where you go from basics, Tradingview, you know, candlesticks, support, resistance, market structure, Elliott Wave theory, advanced harmonics, you know, how to read Fibonacci correctly. Take advantage, guys. There's also a great opportunity to get into the signals channel on the Telegram, guys. Reach me out, join the Telegram. It is your opportunity to start taking your trading to the next level, guys, okay? So let's continue here with the possible setups. That is one of them. You know, we need to get down, we need to get a bounce. I want to short and long now. No, it's just waiting for a scenario. I do see a rejection from here, so you know that, right? I do see the highest probabilities, possibility here to reject, taking out this lower high or not. You know, I do see that possible rejection in this area, right? To claim 105K and maybe even lower. So you know that already, right? If you want my quick analysis on that scenario, I do see a pullback in this zone, which was very much explained last week. You know, I did say this zone for me is a rejection point. Of course, it's just been ranging and very boring. So That is one scenario, guys. Let's go with the next scenario, okay? There's 3 or 4 scenarios, so bear with me. I need to give the explanation on Bitcoin. This is where I look for my trading setups. You know, that's what I do, guys. I trade Bitcoin. I hold altcoins. That's fun. It's, you know, sometimes it's a bit of a gamble to depending on altcoins. They might collapse. The team might fall apart. It might be a big scam. You never know at the end of the day when you're doing investments in anything. So I like to trade. I know how to trade, so I want to make money trading, right? That's where I know how I can make money. Altcoins, yes, you know, we're looking for an altcoin season, guys. I do hold altcoins in my portfolio, but it's not my, you know, I depend on my altcoin holdings. Absolutely not. My altcoins could go to zero. Everything would be just fine because, you know, I focus mainly more on Bitcoin trading. So that is one scenario that I'm looking for. Let me go quickly through the comp section. My man, 𝗞𝗍𝘆𝗽𝗍, how are you doing? What is the discount? You will get the information, but the discount is very good, okay? I will reach out to you. You know, join the Telegram. I will reach out to you. We will do the best discount for the summer, just so people can see, all right? You know, see what kind of group we have, the Discord, which we have the modules, coaches, updates. You need to experience this so you can take your trading, you know, to a much better level. Analyze a confirmation double top. Andy, analyze a confirmation double top. Confirmation double top. Is that on the higher time frame? Yeah, we're going to take a look at the scenarios locally here. I'm not sure if you're talking about this double top. Okay. This is low probability, okay? Low probability double top right there, just like 2021, and we collapse down in the next coming weeks. Low probability on this, okay? It's just simple. It's just reading this structure. There's no way or form to look at this as a double 1-2. It's corrective. You know, we are looking for this range to continue possibly and take out all-time highs. It's just the highest probability. Could this range be more complex and corrective for many weeks? We'll get to that. We need more information. With the information that we got, it's just locally ranged to continue, possibly, and take out all-time high in the next 1 to 2 weeks, okay? Maybe even less than that. But for this double top to happen, right, I know a lot of people must have seen this price action, right? Forming the same price action. Yeah, it doesn't look bearish, guys. And we got massive bullish news on Bitcoin. All-time high really almost looks imminent, guys. We cannot say that as an analyst or a trader, right? Anybody that says, you know, this is 100% going to happen, you know, make sure to be aware. Nobody knows. But I think you're talking about this double top, right? Could we form a similar double top from 2021, right? I mean, it could happen eventually, but I'm just not looking at this, guys. I know it doesn't look great, right? It does not look great. The bars pattern here does look very similar, but as explained, this is a corrective structure, guys. It does look very corrective, and you know, ultimately we are looking for a leg up. Okay, this is not choppiness and exhaustion and low volume, even though it looks like it, guys. It is not the case. It looks extremely corrective. So we need to go in through the different scenarios here. What are the scenarios, right? I've explained the one that I like more. You know, not looking for a successful breakout from here. Could it chop, claim the highs? Yes, but I'm looking for swing failure patterns, which is one that I'm looking for here as well. Potentially we can claim that high of the 16th of June, and it could swing failure pattern. We do have that last little bit of liquidity, which is very interesting because looking at this, just a few days ago, well, basically last week, there were so many short positions. The liquidity that we had at 108.9, 110K was insane. It was massive. And just in less than a week, we have flipped right now. Everybody's bullish. John Wynn is bullish. And he's massively long at resistance. You get the deal, guys, right? You get the deal. So there is a lot of liquidity already at down here. 105, 103, 104. Liquidity is shrinking. So could we get that one last leg up to 109.5K? to sweep up this short liquidation and then get the drop, absolutely. This is where I would enter or re-enter, right? Short position, maybe slightly add to the position depending on how the price develops. But it's a liquidity game at the end of the day, right? It's a liquidity. I do not see a successful breakout in the coming days to hit all-time high. I mean, I do not see it with the analysis. Could it happen? Absolutely. Maybe this is a multiple 1-2 setup and we do break out here in a third wave. It would be rare, very rare structure, but this is Bitcoin. Bitcoin could do the impossible, right? Unlikely, guys. Unlikely. So any sweeps of highs, any liquidity grabs, okay, has higher probability in getting a strong rejection. Take that with a pinch of salt. Take that with good risk management. It's not a oh, I think it's going to go down. I'm going to short here, add another 5% here, add another 5% here, and I'm going to get into a 20% risk with stop loss at all-time high, right? And you're losing a quarter of your account if all-time high is hit. This is not how we trade. We trade responsibly. Do not lose more than 3% of your capital. There's trading opportunities every single week, 2, 3, 4, 5, depending on if you're looking for scalps. Do not trade like this, guys, because you're just gonna, some of you guys will take one of my possible trading setups that I provide here and we'll go all in. It always happens, guys. I do get DMs of people saying, I lost half of my account. And well, you don't follow the general rule in trading, which is do not risk more than 3%. You can risk 10, 20%. You can do whatever you want, guys, but it's just a matter of time of losing, right? People that do this, yeah, you have a few months that might turn out very well, and you will double an account. I cannot double a trading account in a month. I can do it, but I'm taking massive risk, and when I get stopped out, yeah, I'll be losing a lot of money, guys. The average is in between 10 and 20%, sometimes even 5%. It's 17% in the last month. Having 100% P&L is just extremely risky. It's a matter of time that you will get stopped out 2 or 3 times and you will burn 50% of your account, right? It's unsustainable long term. I've tested it, guys. It's not sustainable. I can do it, but I will end up losing, significant chunks. It's not sustainable. Let's go right away through the other scenarios. My bad. Okay, my bad. I'm just talking a little bit too much here. So one scenario has been mentioned, which is this one over here. Still get the corrective move down, value area low, or even take out 98K. Very possible in the next coming days. And then the other scenario, I don't like this one. Low probability. We can talk about it later on. But we can talk about this one, right? This is one that we just talked about. We did also talk about this one. We covered it. Get the bounce, 5-wave structure to the upside, a higher low, and then look for the long. We need a 5-wave bounce here on 5-minute, 15-minute time frame. Higher low at 50%, 7/8 Fibonacci is going to be the golden zone to get in. But we need that 5-wave bounce, okay? So that's been mentioned. If the price, say, in the next coming days, right, we do have the bearish case, this could still chop. It could still claim 109K. It's still possible that we can claim $109,000. This is a level that I would be extremely interested in a swing failure pattern. Claim that liquidity that we talked about. It's a liquidity game, guys. Sweep up that liquidity above 109, maybe hit 110K, and then sweep up all of the massive long positions at 105, 104, 103. And this, when the market drops, it drops fast. So we know that there is liquidity above 109K. We know we could reach those levels. I am not too interested in a breakout here. Okay, I don't see a successful breakout to all-time high. Could it happen? Absolutely, yes, it can happen. But this is why we have levels and guidelines when we look for a setup. What is the level and guideline? Swing failure pattern. Claim the highs, get acceptance back beneath the low, stop loss at the high, entry point, and we're looking for a significant leg down here based on this scenario, A, B, C flat. Okay? Running flat or expanding flat, take out the lows. It doesn't matter, we're looking for a leg down. So, you know, you do have a pretty significant projection to the downside. Then take profits, leave some open, we take out the lows, fantastic. We've got an awesome short position with a movement of over $10,000. We can protect position, we can be responsible with our trading setup. So a swing failure pattern is option number one from the highs that was created on the 16th of June. Great option. I don't see, this structure is not common for the price to get a breakout. It's not common to get this shallow pullback and get a successful breakout. It's not common. It doesn't mean, you know, that means that it is possible, but it's not common. So this is the guideline. Guideline is taking out that high of 16th of June to sweep up that last bit of liquidity and then claim the liquidity from the longs that we do have at 105, 103, 102, right? So that would be the general idea here, leaning on this scenario, looking at this complex Elliott Wave theory, sideways, corrective, WXY. And it's all about a liquidity game. So yeah, sweeping up the highs to then get a nice move down is the option. What is interesting is that we do have a nice consolidation here also, which is bringing us a naked point of control, right? We do know that these consolidations bring us a nice high volume node, right? The biggest amount of volume from this consolidation was traded at 109.6, 109.7, depending on what exchange you're looking at. But ultimately, that is a big high volume node. And we know that probabilities are very low to get a successful breakout to all-time high, right? So this is a resistance area. There is liquidity and this big liquidity building up here on longs. So with that theory, if we go up first from here, I'm interested in the sweep of the lows and getting to 105, 104K. So yeah, swing failure pattern, option number one from that lower high that we have from the 16th of June. And option number two is the naked point of control touch. You touch that naked point of control on the movement up, which is leaning above 109.6K. You unsuccessfully break above this level, which is getting acceptance back above. And this is not where you would want to short. You would want to short the acceptance down below. Get the rejection beneath that level. Make it prove itself that it is getting resistance. So then you can get into the trade realizing that it's not successfully breaking to the upside, and you can put your stop loss and have very good risk management above that high after entering the short. I would at least be targeting $105,000 on this swing failure pattern from the naked point of control. Stop above the high depending where that is, right? Give it a bit of room, a few $100s above that level. It could get choppy. And then ultimately target the point of control as a TP1. Still understanding that the ABC flat is what I would be looking for here. Target number one, target number two could be the lows. Could be the lows, okay? So I would be leaving some of that position open. So yeah, getting to 109 and 110K in the next 1 to 2 days is very possible. I'll just be ready for the swing failure pattern attempt. If the price breaks out, say that we just get a gigantic pump like this one right over here that just crosses through the level, there'll be no short taken, right? No new short taken if we do not SFP from either the highs here or the naked point of control. We reject from that naked point of control and we can take that trading decision. So a few scenarios, right? Possible shorting range, possible long only if we do get that bounce in a 5-wave structure. The long would be taken on the higher low between the 50% and the 7-8. So there are a few trading options here. There is the short on the rejection of the naked point of control or the lower high. No rejection, blast off. We do not short add to the short, enter, a short as we're pumping out here. You just need to accept that this could be a successful breakout. We get the leg down, we get the bounce. Interested in a long here. This would be interesting. Okay, we need a 5-wave bounce. Okay, in a 3-wave corrective structure, we're looking at 50% to 7.8. This could actually be that scenario that I explained just about 10-15 minutes ago, which would be this one right over here, forming an ABC flat after forming a 5-wave structure last week. So there is a 5-wave impulse that can be countered. All right, and this could be an ABC flat. It's very risky because I do think that we could go lower, so we need that bounce. Okay, so there's a few trading options right now: short SFP, long the bounce on the higher low. Okay, a few trading options. If the price does start breaking down and we just drop down very aggressively, which is definitely an option that I'm looking at. Okay, we get to value area low, or just let's just say that this scenario right over here, which was the general idea from over a week ago, right, that we take out 106.5k once we were at 100k, right? General idea was actually, I think there's high probability in taking out 106.5k here, because it's either a triangle or a flat, right? And ultimately all of this movement down was very corrective, so I was looking for a large bounce here regardless. So yeah, the thing here is, we could take out the low, right? Things could get aggressive. I know a lot of people are very bullish right now. It's just a flip-flop scenario, guys. It's flipping and flopping. Many were bearish here. It was insane. People were calling for low 90k levels, 92, 90k. I was just explaining how this is highly unlikely to get down here. Highly unlikely. There's no form of impulse that is being formed in this range. So yeah, a lot of bearishness. People were actually, really, they were disappointed of me being bullish here. Maybe some of you are disappointed in me for me saying, the rejection in this zone is highly likely. And we're getting the bullishness. We're getting the liquidity getting built up below 105, 104k. It's all on the charts. It's numbers, right? I cannot. So the thing is, I know there's a chance in claiming 98k, guys. Okay, so ultimately, I'm not really interested in jumping on a falling knife here in a long position, just because I realize that we could be moving down impulsively in a 5-wave structure very aggressively. It could happen. There is a chance, and it's not a low probability chance. There is actually a significant probability chance of this happening. So longing the pullbacks here is going to be challenging, okay? I know there's a lot of people that say we've got the point of control. I prefer to get the bounce first and then the higher low, guys. And then I got a better trade here. I got a confirmation. So longing the falling knife can be dangerous, guys. It can be very dangerous. We need to wait for that sign of strength, wait for the bounce. So, however, if the price waterfalls in the next coming days, right? We might see some bad news because of war, whatever. We know that according to the charts, there is that chance in claiming the lows. I will be extremely ready to long again, guys. Long again in between, give or take 94 and 98k. I will be very ready, guys, to long this area, just like I was ready to long this area just last week, getting into some epic long positions down here that was provided in the Telegram signals channel and also in the Discord. I literally said in text, I'm long in here, guys. Okay, looking for this bounce, which was the general idea also with this scenario. If you're interested in that, remember, summer discount. Take advantage of this, guys. It will take your trading to the next level. Okay, great information in the Discord, modules, coaches, daily updates, and you also have the Telegram. Okay, Telegram is also a good option where we have the signals channel. So take advantage right away. Summer discount only for today and tomorrow. We'll be talking about this on tomorrow's stream also. Let's that's the scenarios, guys. Literally, I'm a little bit skeptical here in this value area. We do have the point of control. I am aware of the bounce. I will be longing later on if we get a 5-wave, bounce here, 5-wave to the upside bounce. But I am aware of, things, really the shit hitting the fan, right? And this is where lots of people bullish right now. We come down here to the 98K. We're going to get this interesting character flipping bearish again here at the lows. And we'll just be ready to get into a long, right? Which is how you need to do it, right? We do not short the lows and we do not long the highs when we're hitting a resistance. Why would you do that? Yeah, their structure is bullish, higher lows, the momentum is bullish. We're getting into resistance. Many scenarios point out, especially with the liquidity that is building up here, that if, this is choppiness just to stop out all of those over leveraged short positions. People are shorting here, so they're just getting stopped out before you get that major drop down. It's what usually happens anyway, so those are the scenarios and levels, guys. Okay, so make sure people that are joining right now, new subscribers, welcome. All of the scenarios are looked at. Okay, on what could happen in this range if we were to take out the lows of 98K. Awesome swing long position zone, guys. I will be updating the Discord and the Telegram with the possible entries if we get down there, what I am doing and when I'm taking action. And other scenarios here are a little bit risky. Okay, scenarios here are risky. We needed some information, signs of strength to jump into that trade with confidence. And if we do claim 109K, an SFP either from the naked point of control or from this lower high is a very, very high probability. But we need that rejection. We need the sweep of liquidity and rejection and acceptance beneath those lows to take that informed decision, right, of taking action with good risk. Because it could just break out and go to all-time high, and then, a lot of people would bash me, right? You're taking the wrong decision. I lost half of my account because I thought we were going to reject. Well, we did not, right? The moment you start trading above these levels, is the moment you either need to get stopped out. If you reject and you get back up, you just get stopped out. You do not hold shorts and add to position. It's risky. You can burn your account. So let's go through the comment section. Now, yes, guys, a few scenarios that could develop. There you have them, right? Of course, understanding those scenarios and taking action is another thing. With responsible, good risk management. Something that I have, maybe you don't have it already, okay? Maybe you don't have it. Maybe you don't know how to take the action. Have the risk management. When to get in, when to get out, when to, all of that you do have on the Discord. The modules, you need to go through modules. Don't depend on people on YouTube to take your trading decisions, guys. You need to take those decisions based on your analysis and your responsibility and your risk management. We teach that in the Discord. We have daily updates, you get the modules, and you get the summer discount. Take advantage. Join the Telegram down below and you will get that information and that epic discount. And take action with your knowledge, your information, and your self-development, right? Stop depending on people, to take your decisions. We teach that, and I want you to learn. So let's go right away. It's going to pump to 109K and then a correction. Yeah, this is something, that's one scenario that looks very interesting, okay? Sweeping up those highs would make sense and then get the rejection, okay? There is that scenario. This could be looked as an impulse, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C flat, or a double zigzag. You got a 3-wave move up, shallow consolidation, it doesn't matter, and another 3-wave move to the upside. A double zigzag is definitely possible, and it's what you need for this ABC flat, okay, which is this one, to possibly finish your wave Y. A wave down, B wave up, which is a three-wave structure, in this case a double zigzag. One wave up, X very shallow, but regardless, and then a three-wave move up, a double zigzag to finish your B wave, and then get the pullback. Very possible. I don't know if it's going to happen. We just need to take action on, have good risk management and take action if we do get a reaction on the naked point of control at 109.6K or the lower high that we have here. Okay. So I'm still in longs. I'm hedging against my shorts. I'm interested. I'm bullish. And I do know that all-time highs has higher probability. This is only looking at the local range. We've been bullish throughout this entire range for the last few weeks. This is why if I long on the lows, I'm going to maintain, significant amount of that long. Okay, especially this one, which, I am in a short already from low and it's at a loss. It doesn't matter. I've taken profits. I'm holding some to hedge. And, the numbers still say it, right? It doesn't matter. The numbers are there. It's all about consistent long-term, right, profits. So yeah, I'm in a loss right now on a short, but I'm handling very well the longs. I'm much heavier in longs than in shorts. But this is a local possible corrective move that could happen, and I would be interested in taking another short only if we SFP from here, or we SFP from the naked point of control, right? Basically from that high volume node of this range. Only if the price swing failure patterns the 109.7K zone and get acceptance back below the naked point of control is where I would trigger the short, because I do think a strong pullback here could be very, very possible. Okay, I want to take advantage. I want to make money with this movement down, so I know what levels I'm looking at and I know what rejection. Stop losses are tight. They are tight. They could be in between 1% and 3%. If you move down, you could make, if you're risking 3%, you could be making 8%, 10% gains of your account, right? If you're looking at a 3-to-1, 4-to-1 risk to reward, depending if you're risking 1 or 2%, could be in between 5 and 10% gains. But if you lose, it needs to be in between 1 and 3, right? So yeah, maintain risk, guys. Okay, maintain risk. I will be just happy enough if the price breaks out here and claims all-time high in the coming days, which I think is unlikely. But I'm in longs and, also from lower. So I'll be happy for that to happen. People that are taking the shorts and did not take the long will be not happy. They'll be not happy. But if you've been following enough for the last few weeks and months, we always look to hedge, right? We get in, imagine getting into a short position here and just adding to shorts and not taking profits or anything in this range, right? I've been outperforming the price of Bitcoin eventually because we've been in a range with my trading, right? If I would have held Bitcoin, I wouldn't have made some extra gains on a few of the accounts. Anyway, let's go through the comment section, say hello to the beautiful community. And Andy, that impulsive move doesn't seem to be real impulse. For me, it's just a correction to position some shorts higher, waiting for the BTC to fall down. Yeah, the S&P 500, NASDAQ, few of the stock market is at all-time high, legends, right? Really, really cool. We knew that all-time high was highly likely on stocks based on the movement up that we had here. Three-wave structure down, big bounce. Since we created this bounce to claim the highs or getting close to the highs, we knew that we either going to continue up or range and then go up. This was a corrective move at the end. And a few weeks later, here we are at all-time high, which I'm not surprised. It was the highest probability. Yeah, S&P 500, all-time highs. Price discovery. Could it end up in a double top, big rejection? Well, we're going to have to see in the next coming weeks. The dollar index did get a drop, but it's not dropping with, it's not dropping aggressively. So it looks like it's, a bit of a three-wavy structure. Could this three-wavy continue to the downside? Meh. Yeah, I'm a little bit concerned of the dollar index getting a bit of a bounce here. But anyway, we're not here to analyze this. Bitcoin dominance absolutely flying. Bitcoin dominance continues to the upside, continues this uptrend, could reach, 66, 67% on dominance. All right. Everybody's pissed off because of their altcoins not performing and losing, right? Having unrealized losses. I'm also at unrealized losses on many altcoins, guys, except for Chainlink Ethereum, because I've been buying them for a long time now. But the new ones that I bought, in the last few months, a lot of them, some of them are at a loss. Okay, 30, 40, 50%. I don't go too all in. I don't go aggressively on altcoin holdings, guys. It's just fun to have a few of them for the future whenever that altcoin season happens, right? A lot of people are very, very skeptical on altcoins right now, saying that an altcoin season is not going to happen. Andy, Near looks great. Near Protocol is an awesome project. ICP looks great. I've gone quite heavy for an altcoin on ICP. But, 𝗖𝗿𝘆𝗽𝗍 saying here I got some random trend lines here. We can get them out of the way. 𝗖𝗿𝘆𝗽𝗍 saying that Near Protocol is looking awesome. And it actually does look relatively good. We just formed a double bottom here. Got a nice bounce on the liquidity grab. Yeah, Near Protocol. Near Protocol does look good. It's, we lost the low after a major rally to the upside. You got the movement down, a lower high, and then this movement. So I haven't done proper analysis on this, but I would label this as a corrective three-wave structure, and that we're going to find a floor zone in this area before the altcoin season happens, right? Which could happen in the next coming months, right? So yeah, Near Protocol looks good for accumulation here at the $2 range. They said that the last time. What's that? Hey man, have some respect. What's wrong with y'all, man? Yeah, what's the matter? What's going on? And it was pumping JTO. Yeah, this is why trading is the ultimate scenario, guys. If you're depending on buying altcoins to get rich, well, trading is the way to go. People that lose money trading, they say, don't trade, you're going to lose your money. You can trade very responsibly and have epic P&Ls after a few months. It just takes time. It takes responsibility. And a lot of people, there's spot traders and there's leverage traders. I'm both. I do both. It is true that sometimes my leverage trading accounts outperform my spot buys, especially now, guys, where mainly altcoins are not doing anything and they're actually going down. And Bitcoin's been ranging here for a few months, at this zone of 100K, 110K, right? So trading is going to outperform that, guys, if you know how to do it. If you don't know, then you're eventually going to lose. But yeah, much love from Boston. Maz, how are you doing, my brother? Nice to see you around. Nice for you to join. I've explained the Bitcoin scenarios that could happen. I think the bullish case, which would be a multiple 1-2, this is the low, the finished corrective move right over here in a WXY, not this one right over here. You have either the ABC flat scenario and then bounce, or you have the multiple 1-2 setup, which I do not think has the highest probability, just because your second wave 1 and 2 is much larger in price action than your first wave 1 and 2. So that is rare. Usually when you have a 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, usually similar or even smaller than your first wave 1 and 2. You don't get a wave 1 and 2, 1 and 2, and 1 and 2, and then your 3, right? This is very, very rare to see. So your second 1-2 here is much larger than your first 1-2, which already automatically gives it low probability. So, if it were to be a multiple 1-2 setup where you have 4 1-2s, second 1-2 is the largest. You want to see the first one being the largest mainly. And then, you would break out in a third wave here, basically. I mean, it's possible, but it's low probability. Regardless if it's low probability or not, all of the scenarios we mentioned is worst case scenario getting down to the low. But all of the scenarios is taking out all-time high, guys. All of them. So at a later stage. And we do have awesome news going on, right? Based on spot holders, right? People that are bullish long term, which I think is mainly most of you guys watching. The news that there is, eventually we do have 𝗖𝗂𝗍𝗍𝗍, which has bought more Bitcoin. I think it's 5,000 Bitcoin or just slightly below 5,000 Bitcoin that he's bought. You would 21 years from now, you'd wish you'd buy. I do hold significant amount of Bitcoin still. I've only sold 10% of my portfolio. Once we reach all-time high, I will definitely sell another at least 5%, guys. You know, you just need to take profit as you grind up. But I'll never sell all of my Bitcoin. Mass adoption news and institutions buying is insane, guys. It's, you know, 𝗖𝗿𝗆𝗍𝗍, more purchasers incoming, CEO of Metaplanet, the Japanese company, to buy more Bitcoin. They're accumulating like crazy. Metaplanet acquires another 1,000 plus BTC. Total holdings now is 13.3K. Absolutely crazy. They're just buying and buying. They're like long-term holders. They're going to buy at whatever level. So they're DCAing at whatever levels they are, just like 𝗖𝗿𝗆𝗍𝗍. Shareholders just approved Vanadi Coffee's plan to buy 1 billion in Bitcoin. This is a Spanish company. They want to be the largest public BTC company in Spain. 1 billion in Bitcoin, so that's overall good. You got institutions buying, you know, like crazy, and different big large companies, which is, you know, just a pure sign of mass adoption, guys. Bitcoin ultimately, you know, will go to much higher levels regardless the pullbacks that we do get. Financial advisors are now recommending a minimum of 10% invested in Bitcoin for a strong portfolio. Just a few years ago, all of these, you know, financial advisors and proper ones, you know, last year, this number was 1 to 3%. Now it's even 10 to 40%. Bigger Bitcoin hodl. Time for 10 to 40% of portfolio in crypto, says financial advisor Rick Edelman. Yeah, I remember this a few years ago. It was like, yeah, maybe 1%, maybe 5%. And now that, you know, it seems like there could be an institutional FOMO, especially if we do see the devalue of currencies going very strong in the next coming years. There could be a super cycle. Bitcoin has the potential of going into a super cycle. Just because of the, you know, traditional financial system is crumbling. It is breaking down. There will always be inflation, regardless if it's 2% or 50%. There will always be inflation. You know, the economy requires infinite growth, and there's no infinite growth with the monetary system that we have. It's impossible. It cannot happen without inflation. So yeah, the potential of a super cycle for Bitcoin and going to extreme high levels seems inevitable. It's something that is going to happen, right, kind of thing in the next coming years. But we are traders. We also look for opportunities. It is estimated that as much as $30 billion in passive flows will redirected into strategy. This is insane because MicroStrategy, MicroStrategy, in the next 6 months following their potential acceptance into the S&P 500. You know, they're probably going to get into the S&P 500, and they're going to get, obviously, you know, as much as $30 billion in passive flows, and he's just going to buy more Bitcoin. He's just going to buy more Bitcoin with any money that comes in. So that eventually there's going to be more buying in that side. We know that. So yeah, that's a little bit of the news that is going on, legends. All right, so very, very bullish. Everything's very, you know, massive signs of adoption. Devil, where's Devil? Here he is. Devil Trading. It's never a bad price to buy BTC if it's long-term investment. There you have it, guys. Make sure to go and check out Devil, the man, the legend himself. We do have him here in the comment section. I'm just going to get his YouTube channel, guys. If you don't know who Devil is, we're going to have to put him here in the pinned comment because he goes live most of the days, provides education. Okay. Hang on a minute. There we go. Let me just provide his YouTube channel here, guys. It is in the pinned comment. All right, down below. Check him out because it's this handsome dude. He is a coach in the Legends trading community. I know a lot of people know him already, but his education is awesome. You know, I would say it's better than mine. So shout out to you, Devil, okay? He's in the pinned comment. Guys, go and check him out. Subscribe to his channel. BTC is not at the top. Says bring the cows. Yeah, it's not. It's never at the top. Bitcoin never tops, right? 2021, was that the top? No, it was not, right? 65K was not the top. 69K actually, right? It never tops. Bitcoin never tops. It's an ultimate massive bullish trend on the higher time frame. So it can local top. We can get into some, internal, short positions, but ultimately going the higher levels in the future is what happens, right? Yours is better than mine. Yours is better than mine, says Devils. All right, let's just say that we're both good, okay? I'm not here to be better than anyone. You have your style, I have my style. We try and predict the different situations. So far, so good. The trading numbers, the accounts, the analytics do not lie. Trading is good. With all due respect to Andy, but yes, Devil the One, what a legend. There we go. We got some people confirming. I agree. And Devil's analysis are on pro level. They are so good. Absolutely awesome. We're getting a lot of love for Devil here in the comment section. Besties. Yeah. I will never say that I'm better than Devil or than anybody, guys. I'll let the people decide on that. Devil bought a huge bag of ice cream coin. He's going to be rich. Very good one. Very good one. We actually looked up into a coin that was ass cream. I think there is actually a coin that's called ass cream. So it was a prank that Devil did on me, and I actually went to research it. You never know, because you got butthole and you got fart coin. Maybe this is a crypto, right? We live in an interesting era right now. So I actually thought that this was an altcoin. And there was an altcoin that was called Ass Cream. Yes, I bought Ass Cream at 69. There we go. Andy is Devil's son. Woo! We got, wow. Yeah. Very good. Look at this. This guy is really 𝗖𝗿𝘆𝗽𝗍 mythos. Devil, you got a big fan here. Perfect entry, Devil. Let's go right away and continue. I mean, this range has been extremely boring, guys. Low volume, low volatility. You could scalp here. I mean, you could scalp, short the highs, SFPs, long the higher lows. But it's just been a very, very boring range. Not even more than $1,000 of a movement, 1,500 max. So it's just been very, very boring for over a week right now. Could you get into longs and shorts, in the highs and the lows of this range? Yes, I prefer getting out of the range. There are some better opportunities, as explained on the stream, guys, which will happen, and I will give the information on the Discord or the Telegram, guys. Okay, make sure to join the Telegram, okay, down below, and get that discount on the Discord or the Signals channel. What else do we have here, guys? Shall we take a look at some altcoins? I am looking for a pullback on Bitcoin, so not much has to be analyzed. Andy has the better six-pack than mine. Yeah, it's turning more into a one-pack. Okay, because I haven't been training that much. I've been eating a lot of food that I shouldn't. But anyway, a lot of jamón serrano, 5J's, pata ibérica, Parma ham. Yeah, cheese, alioli. If anybody knows, food from Spain, in Spain right now. So yeah, the diet will start in a few weeks. You are weird. Who's weird? Me? Thanks. Say had a nice pump. Say had a nice pump. Say had a nice pump. Let's take a look at Say. I do have some 𝗖 in my portfolio, nothing too major. Yeah, 𝗖's doing pretty okay, having a little nice little pumpy action here. This is the same scenario, extreme strong impulsive move, 3-wave structure that looks more corrective, form a bottom formation, altcoin season, right? It's a matter of time, I think. You know, when you form a 3-wave move, a lower high, and you claim the lows, that's the moment that you want to be interested in buying. This opportunity only happens once. The opportunity could last many weeks or months, but when it goes, it's gonna go, guys, right? And then it's like, oh, I should have bought here. So yes, 𝗖 seems interesting. Sir, no, someone else. Okay, I just thought this was for me. Maybe I'm a bit weird. Andy, you run faster with hand than legs. Yes, very true. I used to be a break dancer, guys. I used to be a break dancer before. I can't do it anymore. I'll break my legs instead of break dancing. I'll break my arms. I'm getting old. Very delicious food from Spain. Yes, yeah. Spain is awesome. This is my hometown. I am Spanish. First language is Spanish. And miss Spain a lot. Andy, big thanks for all you do, man. You are a great teacher. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the analysis on the higher time frame, the levels that we need to take into consideration, understanding that the highest probability is taking out all-time high, understanding that there's still a chance in taking out this low. There is a chance in taking out 98k, guys, but we're starting to get into a big level of support, and I would still be interested in long positions if we come down here in the next coming days or 1 week. We got a massive order block. We do have the point of control of this range. It's just such a great zone, and it would just confirm that ABC flat that that we are looking at here, right? Which is this one. WXY, you're in the B wave, maybe a C wave down, but you got a naked point of control here, order block. We're talking about the 94, 95k zone. No, sorry, 97k, 96k zone. All right, big level that would just be claiming this low over here, and then we'll be so interested in a swing long position here, guys. So interested. So yeah, I mean, let's see if that does happen. The scenarios have been explained throughout the stream, guys. Make sure to check it out. Some of the scenarios have been explained on the stream, so make sure to check it out. A few different scenarios that all bring an interesting trading opportunity, okay, with high probability, right? We only try and look for mainly high probability. Andy is a great teacher. Thank you very much. Much love. Thank you very much. No summer discount link on Telegram. Yes, don't worry, okay? You need to reach me out, okay? Reach me out on the Telegram. I will be providing some information after the stream on the Telegram, okay? There is a summer discount, okay? I will be providing the information. You can send me a DM and I will be getting those discounts given to you, okay? So you can join the Discord or the Signal channel directly on the Telegram, where I just say where I'm going long, where I'm going short, okay? Mainly chilled swing positions, okay? Not doing too much scalping, especially right now, as I'm just taking a bit of, not time off, but I'm doing other stuff, visiting friends and family. But don't worry, the information will be provided, especially after the stream. I will send the link eventually and the information of the discount. It's an awesome discount for either the Discord. Discord is next level, guys. We have the coaches, DevOps, modules, okay, daily updates, and I know a lot of people deserve a discount, right? So we're doing that summer discount. And then you have the Telegram, which is just signals, basically, where I share my Bitcoin trade setups. So hey Andy, would you mind to explain your view on future potential rate cuts and QE, and why you see this as bullish, even that history has shown the opposite? Thanks. Well, it is true that interest rate cuts, when we have interest rate cuts, which will eventually happen throughout the next coming months, has usually been bad. Okay, this, in my opinion, will not be bullish in the short term. It will actually be very bearish. When you do see the interest rate cuts happening very aggressively and QE happening, it's because there is something wrong with the economy. It's an emergency, and you have the rate cuts and you have quantitative easing. The first few weeks of this event is mainly bearish. It's an emergency. It's something to stimulate the economy. And of course, this doesn't have an impact in the short term, a bullish impact. It has a bearish impact. When interest rates are cut is because the economy is not looking too strong, and we need we need people there to lend to basically get loans for cheaper rates, right? Low interest rates. This means that the economy is not doing that great. So I know, it is bullish mid-long term, but short term, it can be very bearish, and it can be followed by a stock market crash. I mean, this is only the C19 crash as an example, but after the interest rate cuts and quantitative easing, well, inevitably we got an insane recovery. But in the short term, it's just a big fat crash, and it just takes long to recover eventually. But so it is kind of bearish in the short term. I don't know why people say interest rate cuts are going to be good. They are good in the mid-term, but short-term, it's usually bearish. It's when you get the bad news happening and economies crumbling up. But it eventually turns out bullish. Correcto, ya estoy en la de las señales. Es para el curso y el Discord. Vamos a la luna. Cubana Idian. ¿Cómo estás, hermano? Join the Telegram, ¿vale? Únete al Telegram y te enviaremos información para que puedas unirte al Discord. God bless Spain. Spain is awesome. Yeah, I don't like the government too much, but what can we say? Umbrella to the moon. Yeah, Umbrella. I am down. Quite big, guys, on Umbrella. But if you want to buy low, well, I'm not sure how much lower it can go, but these are very, very low levels. Ultimately, when we do have an altcoin season, whenever that happens, right? This is a very, very risky coin. I do have a significant amount. It's slightly less than 1% of my portfolio, but you just need to take the shot, because these ones could really do that 10, 20x at least. It's just a matter of time, guys. I just really don't take a look at altcoins anymore. I'm just like, I bought the bags. You can buy a bit more. Have a diversification of altcoins. I just don't even take a look at them, guys. We trade Bitcoin. I'm here to make money with Bitcoin trading, right? I do hold altcoins and Bitcoin. Obviously, Bitcoin, lots of it for the long term. On altcoins, it's just there, guys. Most of the altcoins are dead. If you're depending on gaining money with your altcoins, you need to learn how to trade. This is the best moment to learn how to trade and make significant gains and outperform your Bitcoin or altcoin holdings with your trading account and your P&L. It's the moment to learn, guys, because if you depend on buying altcoins and Bitcoin to do a 10x, well, yeah, you will do a 10x on Bitcoin. It might take 10 years to get to $1 million, maybe 5 years. But if you want to learn trading, now is the perfect moment, because if you're waiting to make 20, 30, 50 X's on your crypto portfolio, it's just wishful thinking. It's wishful thinking, guys. What you want to do is outperform the market with your trading strategies. Okay? And you can learn this. We do have the Discord, the modules, the updates. It's a learning curve that will take weeks, even months, okay, that you will develop. So be patient, be ambitious, learn it, and you will get that. You will get there, guys. Whoever takes it seriously will get there. So take advantage of that summer discount. Join the Telegram. You will get all of that information right away, guys, okay, to get the discount. I'm good. No, sir, not with you. I'm good. All my money on XRP. XRP is still good. XRP still looks quite bullish, if I'm honest with you guys. still looks quite bullish. The movement that we've had throughout the last few months looks extremely corrective, okay? Looks very, very corrective still. All of this range, which has been very, very boring. XRP looks good. Very, very good still. Very, very corrective price action. We're looking for the highs to be taken in the next coming weeks or months. At some point, this range, it looks corrective when we analyze the last few weeks of price action here. No impulsive move, lots of overlap. It looks good. All my money on XRP, well, that's your decision, right? I would never put all in. If it's going to be one, it would have to be Bitcoin. But all in on one crypto, such as XRP, I mean, it depends. You know, for me, it's not a good idea. Have a little bit of diversification on altcoins. All my money is on Cardano and Superverse. ADA, thoughts on Cardano? I think Cardano is good. Also, the range looks corrective that we have formed in the last few months. We did have a pretty interesting impulsive move to the upside. A multiple 1-2 is what looks more interesting here, or an expanding diagonal. But it all looks good because this looks corrective. This price action looks very corrective. Lots of overlap. No major impulsive move with a strong 5-wave structure. It's been a 3-wave move down, a really big bounce to the upside. That already confirms that all of this looks corrective and it looks good. The future of a rally for Cardano after this multi-monthly move down looks promising. Looks very, very promising for that reversal back up. Okay. So yeah, all my money is on Cardano and Superverse. Don't know when to sell. You need to take profits on your way up. Last day of the month, quarter and the half of the year, but not the end of the week. This 3 days are the best times for manipulation, right? Yeah, we probably have some options expiring. You know, last day of the month. Is it last day of the month, today or tomorrow? By the market makers, get ready for the manipulation. Very true. How's Link doing? Chainlink? I'm very bullish on Chainlink. It's just been very boring. Very, very boring. Chainlink looks good for a multiple 1-2 setup. This movement down looks corrective, which eventually is telling me that we do take out this high at some point in the coming months. So the option here is a 1-2-1-2 or a 1-2-3-4-5 expanding, okay, diagonal to the upside, which would ultimately be bullish for the next coming years, right? You might get a multi-month bear market, right? Everything looks good for taking out this high. It looks bullish. Movements up look impulsive. Movement down, which most importantly was this one, because I was leaning on it might be doing an ABC here, and that's it. Multi-year bear market. But this movement down has proven to me that it is corrective. Okay, and it's highly likely that Chainlink finds a recovery, right, at some point in the next coming months. So just a matter of being patient with the bags. The moment we cross $30, I'm going to start taking profits on my Chainlink, guys. I've been holding and buying and holding Chainlink since 2019, and I did not sell a single Chainlink. And I had thousands, guys. I still have thousands. And yeah, it's just one that I'm in profit only by above a 2x approximately on average, 2-3x max profit for many years. Still good, but could have made much more of selling here. So I'm saying I'm going to hold Chainlink till $100. I'm going to hold it forever. You know, kind of married to Chainlink. Never marry anything, guys, any assets. Because you're just going to hold, you end up holding the bag. And this is what happened to me with Chainlink, guys. I've been holding the bags. Still in profit, could have made more profit. So at the moment, it's looking good with the analysis. I'm just ready to start take profits once we cross $30. sell 20%, and another 30%. I'll leave a moon bag for all-time high, but you know, we need to get out. We need to get out, guys. So this might range still, but ultimately it's still looking very good on Chainlink. This price action looks corrective. So hope you're not ready for a divorce. Well, yeah, if Chainlink goes to zero, I will be losing significant amount of capital, amount of money. I do have several thousand Chainlink on coin, so if it were to disappear off the face of the earth and go to zero, I would lose quite a lot of money. I would be disappointed. Won't be the end of the world, but it will be a big hit. So anyway, 𝗬cie, yeah, 𝗬cie, I think 𝗬cie's still looking relatively okay. Was it trading at $3.50 or so? This is the other thing that we're looking at. This does look impulsive. The movement down still looks corrective. Does look very double zigzaggy. So I got a bit of a mixed sentiment here on 𝗬cie. I think 𝗬cie had some issues a few months ago. I'm not sure what happened, but I remember reading something bad about 𝗬cie ecosystem. Please confirm in the comment section. This is why probably we got a steeper pullback. But it does look like the movement up looks very 5-wavy from the correction that we had in April. Okay, January to April. The movement up from April looks impulsive. Okay, very 5-wavy. A strong movement on your wave 3, high volume. It's just like a textbook movement. So it is coming to the ultimate lowest zone possible, which is the 7/8 Fibonacci, which was slightly front run. So you would expect this area to maintain as support on 𝗬cie for the next coming weeks. Okay, it could chop still, it could come down, it could bounce, but ultimately this zone looks good for 𝗬cie, as the bounce that we had here does look more impulsive. 𝗬cie still looks quite good, but they did have bad news a few months ago. So yeah, thanks for Chainlink analysis. Yeah, just an overview. Chainlink does look bullish. The movement down looks corrective. So ultimately, we are looking for Chainlink to bottom out and you know, head up to the new to the highs that we formed. I will do a live stream later. We'll also share 2 more alts I added to my portfolio. Make sure to subscribe to Devolt Trading, guys. He will be going live later on. Take advantage. 𝗬cie's largest decentralized exchange was exploited via pricing oracle bug, resulting in a loss of 220 million. Yeah, there we go. There was the bad news on 𝗬cie. There we go. Thanks for that, my man. Much appreciated. I knew there was something, I just couldn't remember what it was. I'm too focused on Bitcoin trading. You know, I'm not an altcoin analyst, fundamentalist. You know, just trading and chart analysis is my thing, mainly for Bitcoin. This is where I make my trades and where I make my gains. Bitcoin trading, guys, that's it. Maybe a few altcoins I'll get in and out, but not mainly, guys. It's purely Bitcoin trading. Bitcoin other is the one that I get into my trades and try and outperform my portfolio, right? At least in the last couple of months where the price has been very rangy. Legends, not much more that we need to discuss. How low are we going, boss? Yeah, I've explained this. I think, you know, there is the bearish case. The most bearish case scenario is claiming 98k, and the not too bearish one is in between 105 and 100. It's going to be very difficult because regarding the analysis, there is a chance of coming down to lower levels. Okay, so it's not going to be easy. We'll be explaining the scenarios in the Discord, so you know what to do. You have the link down below to join Discord, and they'll be getting the updates eventually, and the Telegram where I'm entering the trades, different trades, okay, throughout the week. Not much more has to be discussed here on Bitcoin, guys. Make sure to take a look at the first hour of the live stream. We did the analysis and the possible levels and scenarios, sharing the trading ideas, sharing my P&L from the last 30 days, outperforming the holdings, doing very, very well. If you are interested in trading, guys, you do have these awesome exchanges that only require an email and a password. Bluffing and Weeks are the greatest alternatives to Bybit, in my opinion, that only require an email and a password. You got 20% deposit bonus, 25% fee reduction on Weeks, guys. Take advantage. You got the fourth link or the second link for these exchanges, Bluffing or Weeks. Great alternative from Bybit. All right, got Bitcoin and hundreds of altcoins to trade there, and you got the biggest bonuses and discounts. Okay, 25% discount when you sign up with the link down below. Thank you very much, legends. If you want more info, join the Discord, join the Telegram down below, and I will see you in the next live stream. Make sure to destroy that like button, guys. If you enjoyed the content, the levels and scenarios have been explained in this stream in the first hour. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day, start of the week. Smash up the like button if you do enjoy the content and the education, guys. I'm here for you, and I'm only asking for a like button, okay? For the like to be smashed. Thank you. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.